nor'easter, although it has not shown itself too much. But it is blowing quite strongly, gusting at times, so that if you're throwing the ball or kicking the ball with the wind to your back, you're getting a little bit of a lift from the Mother Nature.
Beals, the sophomore, who is the fullback and also a defensive back, does the kicking too. John Bauer said, in our program, you've got to do everything, include take tickets.
Come on, Ely!
Emily is in the middle of the three deep backs for Rahway. Line drive kick handled by one of the up backs at about the 27-yard line. And the ball's brought out across the 35-yard line. Alfred Blanks, 6 foot, 175-pound senior reserve fullback, returning the kickoff. Good field position for the Indians as they start the second half. Today they took the ball over at their 43, went 10 plays down to the 5, gave it up on downs. Then they had the ball at the 11, 2 plays and touchdown, that long 90-yard pass. And then they had it at their own 17, 2 plays, and we had halftime. So they had the ball 3 times so far. Fourth possession of the day, and the handoff goes to Donnell Powell, who gets maybe a yard up to the 37-yard line.
Again, Rahway opens up, running the ball a little bit wider, and the Randolph linebackers on first down just came right away, keying on Donnell Powell.
The winner of this game advances to the championship of North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 play. They'll play the winner of the Morris Hills-Montville game, which is taking place at the same time as this one. Powell gets the call, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage and thrown back for a loss. Paul Hune and Jim Dixo credited with the stop. Hune, a junior defensive tackle, 5'11", 186 pounds.
Well, Randolph has just told Rahway what they're going to do defensively on first and second down. I should say on all running downs, they're going to come with the linebackers right at Donnell Powell. They were doing that a little bit in the first half in the beginning of the game, but then they stopped doing it, and Powell got himself some pretty good yardage, 3 and 4 yards a carry.
3rd and 10. Denson goes to the air, incomplete to Tyrone McQueen. McQueen, flanker back, had it in his hands, and it went out.
Let's take a look. Here he is. You'll see the ball thrown a little bit behind him. He should be getting that ball over his right shoulder. He had to turn his shoulders and get it over his left shoulder, or at least at his left shoulder, and that's what made the difficulty in hooking it up.
A.J. Gable back to punt for Rahway. Sandler back deep to receive the punt. Rushes on, and we have a flag that will be thrown. Ball is down by Tim Gogarty at the 35-yard line, but Gable was run into, and a flag has been thrown.
Very uncharacteristic of this Randolph club, but this is the kind of break Rahway needs. Let's see, it's definitely contact. Here's Gable. The ball's gone. Here comes Randolph's man. Bang. Unintentional, but nevertheless illegal. Penalty, automatic first down. 50-yard line. Is it the 45?
It's at the 50.
At the 50-yard line for Rahway. So they got themselves a break on this first possession. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
I think that's the first penalty called against Randolph all day. A team that executes very, very well and makes very few mistakes during the course of a ball game. 1st and 10 from the 50. McQueen and Lee split out to the left side. They'll go to Powell. Powell gets maybe a yard. Jim Dixo, number 63, 6'1", 186-pound junior, making the stop. No pickup on the play. 2nd and 10, 9:52 left to play with the clock running in the 3rd quarter.
Powell's running a little bit tentatively in the off-tackle hole. He should be looking to come right back against the grain. That time, if he'd have cut back all the way to the other side, there you see 10 rushes for 30 yards. He may have got himself some nice yardage.
Power I formation for the Indians. Denson will roll out, big rushes on, and he is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Pressure applied by Jeff Jamer, the strong side linebacker, and the senior, who is tri-captain of this Randolph team, bringing Denson down for a 4-yard loss.
Jamer really strings it out. Look at this. This is a run all the way. A lot of blocking out front. Look at the rundown being done from behind there by Jamer. And that side of the line there looked like Cardinal just strung it out very, very well.
3rd and 14. Denson will go to the air, rolling out under a heavy rush. Cardinal after him. Denson gets away, fires a pass that's knocked away. Rick Purtell knocks it out of the air as it goes incomplete. So it'll be 4th and 14, and Gable will come back on the field to punt for Rahway.
Denson did a great job scampering away from the hands of one of the defenders, Dave Cardinal, who had come in and was not blocked and was not tricked into getting caught inside. He kept his outside contained pressure, and Denson did a great job just legging around him to get himself some room to throw the ball.
Sandler back deep, Gogarty and Beerles the up backs. End over end punt by Gable, handled by Sandler at the 21. And Sandler gets up near the 30-yard, or excuse me, up around the 25-yard line. And Randolph will have it 1st and 10. Their first possession of the second half. They trail by 2, 8-6. Both touchdowns coming in the second quarter. Rahway scoring with 6:06 left to play in the second quarter. And Randolph scoring with 1:22 left in the first half. Ball marked just shy of the 30. It is marked shy of the 30, up around the 29-yard line. Randolph has had the ball at their own 27, 3 plays and a punt. They're 17 plays, and they got down deep in Rahway territory, had to give it up on downs, and they had the 34-yard line of their own side of the field, 10 plays, and they scored on a 1-yard Nartalillo run. Sandler taking the handoff, going over the left side of his line, up across the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play.
There's John Bauer discussing the offense. I thought that they'd come out throwing. I thought, especially with the wind to their back now, they'd just be throwing on just about every opportunity. There's a record. How about that record?
135 and 35. Never had a losing season. Nartalillo to the air, in and out of the hands of Gogarty. Again, thrown a little bit behind Gogarty, and he had to reach up for it and across his body, and it goes off his hands and falls incomplete. Clock stops, 7:36 left to play. It'll be 3rd down.
That flat area is wide open against both defenses. Both defenses are playing tight to stop the off tackle, and the quick out pattern in the flat is wide open.
Emily and Corey Baker come on for Rahway, replacing Derek Suggs and Lance Thomas. 3rd and long. Nartalillo to the air, firing over the middle. He has a 1st down as he hooks up with Dave Cardinal. Cardinal gets up near midfield to the 49-yard line, and it's a 1st down.
Let's take a look at this. It's a rollout to the left, and watch him throw back to the hook. That's nothing but the backside hook. The end coming from the right side, away from the direction of the roll, throwing the pass to the hook zone and completing it for a 1st down.
Sandler didn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. Isaac Scott, the junior end, making the tackle. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11. Craig Montgomery comes into the lineup for Rahway, and he replaces Steve Neblett. Kurt Kuntz also comes on, and Lance Thomas steps off. Montgomery, just a sophomore transfer, played at Union Catholic. Well, didn't play at Union Catholic, attended Union Catholic last year. Union Catholic does not field a football team. And Ed Yergalonis feels that great things are in the future for Craig Montgomery. Nartalillo steps up, fires, complete for Cardinal. No, incompleted pass, they say. Thought he had it. Ball falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 11. Randolph fans booing. And we'll take a look at it.
Official right on the play. You see that Nartalillo had to step up a little bit to get away from the rush.
And then when he gets off the line,
almost trapped. The ball bounces up. The official right there to make the call. Good job.
Randolph well represented in the stands, getting good support today. Long trip they had to make. Randolph 5 for 8 on third down tries. 3rd and 11. Firing out for Sandler. And it falls incomplete. That ball was tipped around, tapped around, poked in the air, and finally it fell to the turf incomplete. Denson doing a juggling act out there. He's got great hands, by the way.
You know, this time, this is the same thing that Denson did last time, and he looked away from the ball for a second the last time, and that's how the ball got, hey, you see the tapping around. Still live. But that time, he only looked down for a quick second to see where he was, and he got his eyes back on the ball. The last time that happened, we might have another.
Yeah, too many men on the field for Rahway. Lee will handle this punt inside the 10. Lee looks to get outside and finally is brought down from behind across the 25-yard line.
No!
It's all academic. He'll have to come back, but it's not an automatic first down. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Too many men. Rahway got caught with too many men.
Yeah, they had 12 guys on the field. Horace Baker was hustling, trying to get off the field, but didn't quite make it.
Back up!
Now if they have to punt it over again, they'll just have another 5 yards. It was 4th and 11, so it won't be a first down. And I'm sure they'll accept the penalty and kick it again. Try and pin Rahway deeper because Lee did bring the ball out across the 25-yard line, giving Rahway decent field position. Nothing spectacular, but they feel with that extra 5 yards, I'm sure they can pin them a little deeper if they try it again.
Those penalties really hurt. This one isn't going to hurt badly.
No.
Had it been a penalty that gave Randolph a first down, would have really been a critical penalty. But at this point, it's going to be 5 yards.
No, it's refused.
Refused.
They don't want to give Lee another chance at it. Lee is a very good return man. And I guess they feel that at the 26, they might not do better than that. So they'll try and stop him from this point. 6:09 left to play in the third quarter. 8-6 our score. Both scores coming in the second quarter.
Got a good shot at Pat Passero, one of my former colleagues at Fairlawn High School, the official there in charge of this school. Very, very good official, very knowledgeable about the sport, and several sports he officiates.
As Denson came to the line, we noticed him limping just a little bit. We'll see if that hampers him at all as he hands off to Donnell Powell. Powell up to the 29-yard line. Jeff Jamer making the stop. 3-yard pickup. Denson 2 for 4 today for 109 yards. One of them a 90-yard touchdown pass to Bill Carter. As I mentioned earlier, Denson with great hands. He's a concert pianist, Al.
Yeah, we saw that in the information we got. He's got insurance on his hands, maybe.
Denson take it himself. Jim Dixo drags him down from behind. Bill Banks also helping out. He's 3rd and about 5.
Well, here's a passing situation for sure. See how Rahway plays it. They haven't called the screen or the draw yet in passing situation. The flats are usually open against Randolph because they play that 6 line, although in passing situations the linebackers are a little bit more outside conscious.
Denson will fire, hit as he releases the ball, and it's picked off by Sandler. Sandler is brought down right there by Emil Lee, but Denson was smacked to the ground by Jim Dixo as he released the ball, and Sandler able to pick it off. Randolph has the ball in very, very good field position. They are in Rahway territory.
Jim
47-yard line.
Jim Dixo, as you said, Matt, really put a lot of pressure on Denson and caused Denson to throw that ball up the way he did. And Rahway by no means wanted to give the ball to Randolph this close. They certainly wanted to punt the ball away and make them travel a little bit further to the goal line. Clock is running, 4:16 in the third, so there's no big emergency here. Randolph can run the regular offense.
Nardolillo will roll out, fires, almost picked off by Isaac Scott. You know, Al, you had mentioned it earlier when Denson was caught twice looking for the ball. This team has intercepted 16 passes. They're really looking for the interception. That might hurt them some.
Isaac Scott is right here. He's the guy that was put in the middle. He either had to go up and go after the quarterback or drop back. That time he dropped back and he had his hands on the ball.
Cardinal was the intended receiver.
Yeah, Cardinal was the one who was running that look-in pattern. But Nardolillo comes out with those two fakes. He just comes out on that roll uncovered. Nobody's there to pressure him. That time he got backside pressure. Rahway's going to have to contain him a little bit better than they have.
2nd and 10. 4:05 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Counter play to Sandler. He's tripped up as he crosses the 45-yard line. Lance Thomas, senior, one of many seniors on this club, making the stop.
See that time that Herman Cook, number 9, was the man who was trapped. Shotgun.
On 3rd down. By Powell. That's a touchdown. 17th interception of the year for the Rahway Indians. And for Donnell Powell, a big moment for him. We talked about the fact that his older brothers had played on state championship teams. Mike back in 78, Bernard in 79. And Donnell wants to get to a state championship, and he has helped the Rahway cause with that interception.
Look, right there, it looks like they were trying to develop a screen out in the flat. Donnell Powell times it perfectly as he comes in. It was a screen. He picks it off, and there's nobody going to stop him. He caught it at full flight, legged it into the end zone, and it's the kind of a club Rahway has developed. They are a defensive club. They look for the opportunities, and that was one. They capitalized on the interception, take it in, put it right up on the scoreboard. Now they have a chance to make it 14 by going for 1, or more by going for 2. They go for 2.
And Denson's in. Marty Denson running it in, and it's 16-6, and now that really changes things around. That puts a lot of pressure on Randolph.
It sure does, and I'll tell you something else. That was a gutsy call by Ed Yergalonis. He could have easily gone for 1 and made it 15, and that would have still had 2-point pressure on Randolph. He went for 2 and took it out of the reach of a touchdown and an extra point. 8 points won't do it now.
Nope. Powell, 55-yard interception return for the touchdown. Now John Bauer says, well, let's see what we can do here.
I'm very curious to see how good the Rahway extra point kicker is. He's kicking off right now.
Dan Andrin. We mentioned there are 3 players from Winfield on this team. Andrin, one of them, Paul Hornsby, and John Damiano, the others.
The Winfield Park Wildcats.
There's Donnell Powell.
Yeah, say hello, number 1.
Powell, one of 4 captains, along with Darren Lewis, Tyrone McQueen, and Horace Baker. Bogarty handles it at the 26-yard line, brings it up close to the 35-yard line, and we'll have to see what Randolph does. Trailing in the ball game by a score of 16-6.
3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. There's no reason to panic yet. They can still run their offense. Timeout is called, an official timeout.
Players down on the field. To the left-hand corner of your screen, you see some of the coaches held around the player. Ed Yergalonis is out there.
It's hard to see who it can be because it happened right there.
John de Blasio, the trainer, also out there checking over the player. Not sure who it is. We'll see Gable in at the quarterback position. Emil Lee has come in defensively, replacing Denson at the cornerback spot. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. They'll go on the ground to Beerles. Beerles gets maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Stop fire. 2X, Herman Cook. And Ray Howe.
Rahway defense has scored a touchdown. And they have certainly helped the Indians' cause today. They've only given up 7 points on average all year long. They've shut out 5 teams. They've averaged just a little over 16 points per game. They've got 16 on the board now. They've given up 6, leading by 10. Nardolillo goes to the air. Fires for Sandler. He's got it at the 40 and finally is brought down inside the 35-yard line. Great catch by Scott Sandler. Caught it in stride. And it's a first down.
Well, you'll see they pick right on the area where we used to see. Well, we had Emma Lee over there before, but right over there on that sideline, number 20, it looked like.
Isaac Scott.
Isaac Scott. And they get themselves that first down, and they're starting to roll now. Marty Denson used to play over there, or does play over there. He's out with an injury. Randolph came right back and threw into that area.
Less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Randolph to the air. Nardolillo over the middle, and it's incomplete for Sandler. Sandler a little upset with himself. I think he might have flinched just a little bit, and who can blame him? He had a squeeze between Emma Lee and Tyrone McQueen.
He sure did. That's exactly what happened. His eye contact with the ball was interrupted by the 2 Rahway defenders. Emma Lee right here. Let's take a look at it. There they are, right there in his eyesight, and he couldn't pull it in.
Not quite between them, but they were both in the area. Ball's at the 39-yard line. It's 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 1:46 to play in the third quarter. Nardolillo 6 for 16 this afternoon, has thrown for 113 yards. 1 interception. That was a big one. 55-yard return for a touchdown by Donnell Powell. They'll go with the pass. Sandler throwing out for Beerles, who makes a catch. A beautiful catch by the sophomore Dan Beerles. Beerles reaching up over Corey Baker to pick the pass up. We told you that last year when Nardolillo went out, Sandler took over as the quarterback. So they go for the option pass, and Sandler hooks up with Beerles down to the 6.
Watch him take it right out of the defender's hands. Beerles right here. Corey Baker had a shot at it, and Beerles just came up with the ball. Big play. Rahway's got to play some tough, hard-nosed defense here. They've got to defend 6 yards. And this Randolph club is now doing the things we thought they'd do, throwing the ball effectively.
Beerles gets the call, and the sophomore's down to about the 2-yard line. Horace Baker and Lance Thomas combining for the stop. And this play, well, when Randolph gets this play off, there'll be less than a minute to play in the third quarter. Montgomery has come on. Craig Montgomery replacing Herman Cook at the rover back position.
They've got their pass defensive line in. By that I mean they keep Lance Thomas in there and keep Jerome Laduna out in passing situations. Jerome Laduna, the big tackle that they bring in against the run.
Sandler gets the call, and Sandler is in. Scott Sandler scoring his 6th touchdown of the year has pulled Randolph to within 16-12.
Take a look at the touchdown. It's that simple crossbuck, fake to the fullback, give to the halfback on the off tackle with the guard leading, and he just curls it in to the end zone for 6 points.
And they'll try for 2.
16-12, timeout.
Rahway calling a time.
2 would make it 16-14.
Right, and a field goal would win it. However, if they're unsuccessful, they've got to score a touchdown to win. That streak, you know, had it been alive from 77 through last couple of years, would obviously still be intact. Going for 2. Nardolillo rolling out. Under pressure, and that's it. Steve Neblett was on him, and finally was able to drag him down, and the try for 2 is no good, and it's 16-12.
16-12, a 4-point game.
36 seconds left to play in the third quarter, excuse me, and it's a 16-12 ball game.
You know, something else, Matt. This Randolph club did not come in here with a great deal of players, a great amount of players.
No, not at all.
Squad. I don't know how many he gets out for the sport, but the band has him outnumbered about 4-1. As a matter of fact, we were on the sideline, and Ed Yergalona said the band brought over some substitutes. So the band has
a great band, by the way. They put on a real fine show before the game.
Tremendous band.
Playing Tchaikovsky's 1812.